G'day folks, and welcome back to the southwest. It's a bit cooler down here this weekend, low to mid 20s, so good weather for working. I'm largely finished the tracks and fire breaks for the moment anyway. I'll continue to build those here and there, but I'm going to move on to some more interesting projects soon. However, this weekend I'm cleaning up, so one of the things I haven't spoken about before now is this property and what's on it and how big it is and so forth. So it's a large bit of land. It's 160 acres or 65 hectares, primarily native bush, and there are 4 main types of big trees on this property, or 3 really. Jarrah is the predominant species, then there's marries, there's also blackbutts or yarries, and there's pines. There's a pine plantation about half a kilometre to the west, so there are quite a few pines that have established themselves in here. There's also a very small number of karri trees, which are the high value trees that have they only really now exist in national parks and state forests. They were heavily logged in the last century and the early part of the century. One of the challenges with this property when I bought it is there's an area close to the driveway, and fortunately it's a small area of land which has got a lot of rubbish on it, building waste, roofing iron, timber, glass, you name it. There's all sorts of stuff here that was left by the previous owner. Obviously it had built up over, I think he owned it for at least 20 years, so built up over a couple of decades. There are also a number of vehicles which are wrecked, decrepit vehicles here. I think there are 10 cars. I'll have to count them up again. There's a truck, there's an old tractor, and there's 4 caravans which are all situated underneath a derelict shed. The shed is partially collapsed. There's a water tank next to the shed which has had a tree fall on it. So this weekend I'm starting to move some of those vehicles. I'm moving them all into the one place. I'm also going to do a bit of a tidy up of some of the roofing iron and other building materials that are lying around. It's a huge job. It'll probably take me a couple of years if I just do it bit by bit. But I'm moving all of the rubbish and all of the vehicles into the one location. There's already 4 vehicles in that location, so I'll put the remaining vehicles, or those that I can move. 2 of them I won't be able to move. I won't be able to move the truck, and I won't be able to move the tractor, and you'll see those, they're too big, too heavy for me to move, so they'll probably stay where they are. But all the rest of it, I'm moving all into the same location. I'm making piles of steel, piles of general rubbish, vehicles, vehicle graveyard, and I'll work out what I'm going to do with all of that once I've got everything tidied up. So I'm just sort of pushing it all into one area for the moment. Okay, so bit of tidying up. I've got a tree to cut down as well, and a bit of attempting to move these wrecked vehicles. Oh, I've got a helper here today. This is Millie. Another Millie. So today I'm gonna try and drag this car with the skid steer. Not sure if it's going to move like that. I might have to flip it onto its roof and drag it, and it'll probably make a little bit of mess in this little area, this local area, and where I'm dragging it as well. A bit of broken glass and so forth. But anyway, so that's what I'm going to attempt to do. We'll see how it goes. So I mentioned there's an area which is full of vehicles and rubbish. That's where I am now. So I'm going to give you a little tour around this area. It's not very attractive. Anyway, I'll give you a little look around here and I'll show you what there is. So loads of scrap metal, plenty of tyres and wheels. Looks like an old fridge. Some old engine parts there. Trailer. A couple of vehicles there. I think that's an old maybe Daihatsu. Another Mitsubishi Sigma. Piles of steel. Not sure what that is. Maybe another little Daihatsu in there. Been there a long time. Mazda 626. This one's about to join it. This is the Sigma that I just towed up here. So I'll probably just push it in behind that Daihatsu. Loads of glass and timber. Possibly the remnants of some greenhouses. And lots and lots and lots of empty pots. So, I don't know. Seems that the previous owners were avid horticulturalists, which is, as I understand it, is a reasonably common thing to do out in the middle of the bush where nobody ever goes. Anyway, so lots of work to do here. Oh yeah, there's more down here, by the way. Let's go down here. The bikes, old hot water service. And this looks like the white goods department. So we have here another vehicle. I'm not sure what this is actually. Maybe an old Corolla or something, not sure. So that's good to go. I think that might be a little bit more difficult to move just because the wheels are all broken and so forth. And over on the left hand side there is a big old truck. There's no way I'm going to be able to move that, so that could well be its final resting place. So I might try and find something interesting to do, or to build on the back of it or something like that. Kira, come. I got a couple of helpers here today. Here comes one. This is Kira. Kira, come. She's on the scent of something. Millie. So Kira's a 1-year-old Kelpie, and here comes Millie. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. There we go. Millie's a 5-year-old, I think, border collie. So they're helping me out today. I'm going to drop this jarrah tree just behind me here. It's got 3 legs that are growing up out of a trunk of where the tree was previously felled, probably many decades ago. 2 of the legs are dead and the 3rd one's still alive. So I'll drop the 2 dead legs, and it'll be good for firewood because it's a dead standing tree. The wood should be nice and dry. I'll leave the 3rd leg there because it's still alive. It can continue to grow. This cut's a little bit tricky because it's quite high up. I've got this wide trunk here, and the place I want to cut it is up here, so I'm going to have to hold my saw up quite high, so a little bit tricky. So the next vehicle on my list is this old Jeep over the back there, but there's a lot of roofing iron and other stuff here that I'm going to have to clear. I'm going to have to pull it out this way, and as you can see there's a big pine's fallen on top of the vehicle as well, so I'll have to cut that up first so that I can get in here and try and drag this out. So I mentioned previously that I've inherited a few challenges with this property. There's an area of it which has got vehicles and caravans and so forth. So there you can see an old shed, you could call it. There are 4 caravans under that roof. The roof's partially collapsed. So it's another load of rubbish I'm about to take down to the dumped area. Over the back there is where that Jeep is, where I've just been working. Just going to walk down here. Sorry about the shakiness. Gimbal for Christmas. It's on the list. There's a big water tank which has had a tree fall on it, so that's no good. Here is an old tractor. It's been there a long time. I don't think I'll be moving that. That could be its final resting place. And behind it is a blue van. I'll tackle that maybe next time I'm down. There's Kira. Hello, how are you? Hey. This is a big job. That's gonna have to probably require a big excavator and complete demolition, I think. So it might not look like it, but I have done a bit of a tidy up here. I've done enough at least to drag that Jeep out, or attempt to. I've run out of time this weekend. It's time to head back to the real world. So I'll tackle that next time I'm down. And there's a lot more rubbish and roofing iron and other stuff here that needs to go as well. But at least I've got a path to pull that Jeep out. So we'll have a crack at that next time.